Hey everyone, this is Momonari with my first official weapon review of the UMP, which the GP version. The UMP is a submachine gun. The rank required to buy it is Sergeant. It's used for close quarter combat, rushing, hit and run. And the map strategy when using this type of submachine gun is to try to find like the back route so you can get closer to the enemy because it's not very good for long range. So the stats for the UMP, it has one of the highest damage. There's only one other weapon that has higher damage for submachine guns. The portability is lower than the other SMGs, but you still run pretty fast, especially since you'll want to wear a lighter vest. The rate of fire is again a little slower, the accuracy is fairly low, the recoil is pretty high, and the clip size is 35, which is 15 less than the P90, but you can add the clips to make it 45. So the total amount of bullets is 140 versus only 100 for the P90, so there's a pretty big difference there. Now let's look at the recoil and spread. I recorded this in a random game. When you control the spread at short range, it's fairly controllable. I mean, you can shoot people from behind, from the side really easily, but at longer range, as you can see, it's less accurate. I mean, it shoots from side to side when you control it. This type of weapon is used a lot by people that like speed and wants to jump around and get close quarters. It's fairly difficult to control when you jump because if you can see the crosshair, it becomes huge, and this is trying to control it kind of, so it stays in one general area. It doesn't shoot like all over the place, but you'll still miss a lot, especially if you keep jumping. Tap firing short mid-range is really accurate, but when you're at that range with this submachine gun, you probably want to burst or full auto anyway, so it's not that useful. But at long range, at least you can do some damage if you tap fire. The recoil pattern is some vertical zigzag. And now this is some games I did with the UMP, which actually went pretty good. I cut some parts of the clips, not to make me look like I'm godlike and I never die, it's just because it needs to fit in 10 minutes, and not only that, but you probably don't want to see me dying and running around doing nothing, so I kept mostly clips where I actually kill people and shoot with it. The goal, as I said before, is to try to get as close as possible to the people so that you can shoot them short range, because at long range it's not that useful. It's a kind of weapon good for people that like rushing, and you have to be decent at least at targeting the people, since you'll be in close quarters combat most of the time. The UMP is one of the submachine guns that's very good at getting headshots, as you can see in this footage. I always try to aim between the upper body and the head, and that's how I get a lot of headshots. Currently, I think my percentage is something like 17%, which is decent, I guess. In this game, I was wearing a light vest, so the speed is decent. As you saw a little earlier, someone said I was speed hacking. Actually, I got kicked in a couple of games. I got my first unbelievable using this weapon, and out of 7 kills in a row, it was in 2 towers, I got something like 4 or 5 headshots, because I was very close quarters, and as I said, I always aim for the upper shoulders and head. So I got kicked maybe 10 seconds later. Gravedigger is a pretty good map for submachine guns because you get to do a lot of close quarters combat as opposed to a map like Wave Rider, which is it's not bad for submachine guns, but you know, you have to be a lot more careful, while in this one you just do the regular routes and you'll always be close to people, so it's a lot more beneficial. Fail grenade right there. See, I got yet another headshot. So it's kind of like the P90 as far as headshots. It's not really lotos because you actually aim for the head, but as you can see from short medium range, the gun is still pretty accurate. I mean, it's slower than some of the other submachine guns. It's not as accurate as some of the other machine guns, and of course it's not as accurate as some of the assault rifles, but it does higher damage, and when you're against a lot of people and when you want to burst down someone, you know, you want it to do more damage, and with 37 damage, it's one of the most damaging submachine guns, so it does its job pretty good. Near the end of this video, you'll see me using speed to kill like 3 people in a row, mostly from behind. That's probably what you want to try to do as much as possible, because this weapon is good for, see, another headshot right there. This weapon is pretty good for hit and run tactics. It's not as good for camping. You want to use your speed. In this one I have a light vest, so that's why I can run around pretty quickly. I died pretty often, but so far with this weapon I've pretty much always gotten almost at least 2.0 KDR. A few games I've gotten lower than that. Well, once in a while I get lower than that, but I've gotten a lot of 2.0 or better, just because people aren't very good against you when you use speed. So in this match I went, I think, 29-13, and we still lost. So this is one more clip that's fairly short. It's from Death Room, and I just want to see like a patrol in the middle, and you see that the people are rushing in from the doors, so you just target them and they die fairly quickly, since at this range the weapon is fairly accurate. It's not good for a long range, but at this rate it's pretty accurate, so, and it does pretty good damage. So get 3 kills, and the last one I almost killed the person, but someone else gets the kill. So it's mostly rinse and repeat in this map. You can do other stuff, but upstairs I try to let someone else run in first, so that I'm not the main focus of attention, and you wait for your spots to kill someone without taking too much damage, especially since people keep throwing grenades up here. So I saw someone throw one, so I went back to the corner so I wouldn't get hit. And in this little corridor, the UMP isn't the best weapon, since when the opponents stay far, but as you close in, see, another easy kill there. So the final thoughts is that it's a situational weapon. It's good if you like speed and runs, and actually that's the only way to actually make this submachine gun work well. but it's not the best weapon for camping and long range. So in some maps when you're base raping in two towers and even Wave Rider, you might prefer an assault rifle. And I write that it's not very noob friendly. It's not a bad noob weapon, but since you want to use speed and jump around and stuff like that, if you have bad aiming to begin with, it's not the best one. But for a more advanced player, then it becomes really excellent because of the higher damage. And for the higher bullet count, it matters a lot. If you're close range and you use a lot of full auto and you get some kills, I like it better than the P90 just for that, especially since I only have one weapon. If you have multiple weapons, it doesn't matter as much. But these are the final thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed the review. Subscribe and come again.